The Ratan Tata we did not know, tracing the arc of the US-India relationship note. This article was originally published in the India Today edition dated December 2, 2024. 1944 Childhood Lesson. Ratan's parents had had a love marriage, a rarity in the socially conservative India and the equally traditional Parsi community of the pre-independence era. But their whirlwind courting could not survive the normal vicissitudes of marriage, and in 1944, they separated, with Sunu moving to her parents' house. Sunu filed for divorce, and it was a traumatic period for the children. Ratan was going on 10 and Jimmy 7 when they had to do many rounds of the family court. It was an unpleasant and hurtful experience, Ratan remembers. Sunu eventually married Sir Jomseji Jejiboi. Ratan says that separations or divorces did not happen every day, then as they do today. The rift between his parents was sensationalized, and the details of their separation, both true and imagined, traveled fast. It became a topic of discussion in schools. Both Ratan and Jimmy were ragged and humiliated in school by their peers. Childhood 2 chairmanship. Clockwise from far left, Ratan Tata with brother Jimmy in 1945. Tata on his first visit to Telco plant in Jamshedpur. Tata with Rusi Modi 1962 first love. Interestingly, during this period, Ratan found his first true love too. She was 19-year-old Carolyn Emmons, the daughter of Frederick Emmons. Her father introduced her to Ratan. She said that she was attracted to Ratan at first sight. Her parents were also very fond of him. Her father loved Ratan, Carolyn says. Her mother thought it was the most wonderful thing that could happen to Carolyn. She just thought he was wonderful, and he was so polite, she adds. But their relationship was short-lived, the Ratan Tata we did not know. From 1962 onwards, Lady Tata, who was 85, kept indifferent health. As her health waned, she finally wrote to Ratan, telling him about her deteriorating condition. He realized that it would bring her immense joy if he returned to India, though she never demanded that he do so. Finally, by July 1962, overwhelmed by concern for his ailing grandmother, Ratan decided to return to India. Carolyn was expected to follow, but on October 20, 1962, war broke out between India and China. Although in just about a month, ceasefire was declared in the subcontinent, to an American, the situation looked too fraught. Soon afterwards, the two drifted apart. 1962-63, joining the Tata Group. Ratan had started working with IBM on his return from the US. He would sit in the IBM office in the Vulcan Insurance Building near Churchgate. But JRD convinced him that his rightful place was with the Tata Group. Ratan says, "I sat and typed out my CV because IBM had nice electric typewriters which no one else had at that time. I then handed over my CV to JRD, and that's how I got into Tata." JRD wanted Ratan to begin on the shop floors of two of the group's best-run, best-managed and largest companies, the Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company, Telco, and the Tata Iron and Steel Company, Tisco, both situated in Jamshedpur in East India. It was a way to ensure that Ratan would start with the basics, mentor and guide. JRD and Ratan, sometime in the 1980s. 1991, an unexpected leap. Surprisingly, virtually none of the close observers of the Tata Group could make a correct assessment of who would replace JRD as the chairman of TEL. And when the decision was announced on October 21, 1981, it took many by surprise. Few expected the soft-spoken, introverted Ratan to be appointed JRD's successor. One leading magazine termed it an unexpected choice and added that JRD, who was well known as a conservative captain of industry who looks extremely carefully before he leapt in an unexpected direction.